Is it Thursday? It's Thursday, right? Is it Thursday already? Wow, do we have quite the Bad Batch episode to talk about. Can Rampart be trusted? What is his plan? And where are we going from here? What is up, everybody? How's everybody doing on this fine Thursday afternoon? Let's dive into all this. We got a bunch of news to talk about. Some Rey movie news, some Mandalorian and Grogu news, and of course, the 12th episode of the Bad Batch we have to talk about and predict the next 3 episodes of the Bad Batch because there's only 3 left. Guys, hang on. There's only 3 episodes left of the entire Bad Batch series. That's it. This show is over in 3 very short weeks. Very, very short weeks. So let's appreciate it while we can because it's almost coming to an end. But also, we got to predict what we think's going down. Who's going to die? Who's going to survive? Can Rampart be trusted? What is Rampart's plan? We got a lot to talk about today, a lot to predict today, a lot to do everything today. We got today. We got a today to do, okay? So we got a stream to do today. It's Thursday, right? It is Thursday. Okay. You know, I get all thrown out of the loop when we do the watch parties because I'm up till the middle of yeah. Okay. So without further ado, let me open up the chat. How's everybody doing on this fine Thursday afternoon? What's up? All right. Let's see who's in the house. Okay. Navarro, what is up? Jesse, what's up? Rose, how we doing? Soul, what is up? He be king in the house. Rose, Fearless, how we doing? Lindsay, what's up? Dominic, Brandon, Skywalker Academy, how we doing? Star Chip 66, Star Chip, welcome to the people who love Star Wars. Star Chip 66 very, very generously joined as a night off stream, but I appreciate that. Of course, I would not forget that. And actually, another one we got to shout out who's probably not here either, but Melissa Skywalker. Welcome to the people who love Star Wars. Love it. Love some new members. I appreciate it. I really, really do. If you guys aren't a member yet, you should probably think about doing it. But I appreciate it. Okay, let's talk about what's going on today. Master Martha, what's up? All right, Nick, how we doing? I said hi to everybody, right? John Groom, what's up? Mando United. Okay, we got some. Okay. I think I said hi to everybody. If I didn't, just yell at me in the chat, please. Okay. Let's talk about Rampart. First of all, let's start here. Do you think he can be trusted? I'm actually going to pull this up. Because Rampart obviously worked for the Empire. We saw that the first 2 seasons. He's like the main villain of the entire freaking show. But now he's become an ally. So let's ask you guys. Do you think that Rampart can be trusted? Yes or no? No, maybe. No, maybe. Just a yes or no. Do you think Rampart can be trusted? Yes or no? It's very, very similar, and people have been making this connection in like comment sections and stuff. I've been seeing it all over the place. It's very similar to Agent Kallus from Star Wars Rebels. Agent Kallus starts off as the villain of the first season, maybe 2 seasons even, of Star Wars Rebels, and he eventually becomes a hero and joins the rebellion. And Rampart might be on a very similar trajectory here, as he's not going to go back to the Empire. The Empire has already screwed him over, and there's no way for him to go back. There's absolutely no way. So I think, yes, he might be able to be trusted. Here's my thing. Yes, he's an evil dude. He worked for the Empire, but he has no connection or allegiance to the Empire anymore. So he might be that sort of Agent Kallus, like we saw in Rebels, of the Bad Batch. And he might actually be of use to them. Yes, on this planet, he was being a little loser, but he wanted to just get off the planet. He wanted to make sure that his life was secured and he wasn't a prisoner anymore. Now he's free, so he might just be willing to help out the Bad Batch just a little bit. But you guys tell me, do you think he can be trusted? Yes or no? Tell me in the chat. What do we think? Because the follow-up question has been rattling around, let's put it that way, in my brain for the last, when did this show come out? I don't know, 36 hours, some odd hours. What do we think? What do we think? John Groom says, Rampart can be trusted to do what is good for him. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, he is kind of a self-centered loser, and he'll do what's good for him. You're right. Fearless says, only to a certain extent, I guess. Yeah, he can be. All right, let me ask the follow-up question then. How do you think Rampart is going to help? Because he doesn't know the location of Tantiss. He's never been there. We know that for a fact. All we know is he sent Nala Se there. That's why Crosshair thought that he would be helpful. He has no idea where Tantiss is. Tantiss is supposed to be a hidden place where nobody knows where it is. He has no clue. So how is he going to help them at all? What does he know that we don't? How is he going to help them find the location of Mount Tantiss? And by the way, this poll is at directly down the middle, 50-50. Kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. Skywalker Academy says, will Rampart swear to King Rex? Oh, what? To King Rex? Yeah. No. So how do you think that Rampart is going to help? I really don't know. I'm rattling my brain. I have no clue. Who's he gonna call? Who you gonna call? Who you gonna call? I don't know. There's a few options here. Obviously, there always are. There's the clone assassin, which we've been trying to talk about, trying to think about who the hell it could be under that mask for weeks and weeks and weeks. The clone assassin does leave Tantiss. So he's off on another mission. We don't know where. But we could maybe find him, and that could be our sort of connection to getting into Tantiss. But it might just be that Callus has some other people. And I think this is the way brought this up in the Discord. If you guys are not in the Discord, there's a Discord in the description below. It's very fun. A lot of fun Star Wars people in there. Regardless. Lama Su? Is it Lama Su? Yeah. Lama Su, the prime minister of what used to be Topoka City or Camino, has been imprisoned by the Empire. And he goes to Tantiss in season 2? Yeah, season 2. He goes to Tantiss in season 2. Now, that might be an extremely important scene because he might be the key to all of this. If you guys don't know who I'm talking about, let me pull this up right here. Lama Su, Star Wars. This is Lama Su. That's a bad picture. Hang on. This is Lama Su. This is him with Shakti. Right there. So this is the prime minister of Camino. I thought they killed Lama Su. Did they kill Lama Su? I can't remember what happened to him at the end of season 2. Did they kill him? Somebody help me out on that. Cornerstone Warship, what's up? Fearless says, I'm in watch mode for a while, feeling a little bit under the weather. I hope you feel better, Fearless. I really, really do. John Groom says, Rampart said nobody knows the coordinates, but there may be a way around that. What does and could that mean? Yeah, so he says there's a way around nobody knowing the coordinates to Mount Tantiss. What the hell does that mean? Now, maybe it's a plan where Rampart's like, let's just get the attention of the Empire. Let's just have the Empire come to us. We know that they're after high midichlorian count people. Could they be using Asajj Ventress as bait? Could they go and find a Kanan Jarrus as bait, formerly known as Caleb Doom, and really go back to the beginning of the first episode of the Bad Batch? See, now we're already on to something. We're already on to something here. Caleb Doom is in the first, who goes on to be known more as Kanan Jarrus. Kanan Jarrus is in the very first episode of the Bad Batch. Coincidence? I think not. He was put there for a reason. Obviously, they had to show how Order 66 affected the Bad Batch specifically, but they could have done that with any Jedi, any of them. And they chose Kanan Jarrus. And Hunter lets Kanan live. Now, Kanan hasn't been seen for the rest of the entire 3 seasons of this show, but is it possible? Could it be possible that he comes back for this 3rd season to help the Bad Batch out? because we know that the Empire's looking for Force sensitives, and maybe, just maybe, because of some bounty hunters, and they're friends with Fennec, they're friends with Asajj Ventress now, maybe they use him or Ventress even as bait. It's a possibility. It's definitely a possibility. They need to somehow find the location of Tantiss. I still am of the mind that it's going to be Emery and Omega that actually tell the Bad Batch where Tantiss is, but even until that happens, the Bad Batch aren't going to stop trying. And try as they might, they already broke Rampart out of prison, and they already are conjuring up a plan to find Tantiss. That's where we're at right now. And what that plan is, we have no idea. Master Martha says using the bounty hunters. They could also use bounty hunters as well. Now, they're friends with Fennec Shand. That they're friends is a loose term. They're friends with Fennec Shand. And Fennec was obviously seen in the last couple episodes, or in episode 8, was it? Something like that. She was seen a few episodes ago. And it doesn't seem like she's one of the people hunting down Force sensitive or high midichlorian count children. So it's not likely that she could be of much use. Now, we talked about how Rebels Season 4 ends with all of the heroes kind of coming together from all the seasons before, from Gregor and Wolf and Rex helping out, to even characters like Hondo Unaka helping out with Ezra's plan at the end to save Lothal. Now, I think a very similar thing is going to happen here in this third final season of The Bad Batch, where we're going to see a lot of heroes that we recognize from the 3 seasons of The Bad Batch, from Rex and Hauser and all those clones, and Echo, obviously, to maybe some other familiar faces. Maybe Kanan Jarrus, maybe Fennec Shand, maybe Asajj Ventress. They could all be sort of coming together to help out in this sort of finding of Tantiss. Okay, let's see what you guys think. Where are we at? John Groom says, Rampart said, I already read that. Lama Su was put in prison and returned in season 3. Earlier? Yeah, so Lama Su's not dead. So I actually think Lama Su might be the key to this, because he has been to Tantiss. And almost nobody else that I can think of has been to Tantiss and is left that would be of any use. Now, not that Lama Su would know the coordinates to Tantiss, but at some level, he would have some information. World Between Worlds? Yeah, no, probably not. Probably not. Fearless says, Kanan doesn't like clones, so he wouldn't be helping them. True. Yeah, that's a good point. Kanan has a thing against clones because of Order 66. You're right. Probably not Kanan. Thanks for throwing that theory away, Fearless. Thanks a lot. Just kidding. Soul says, I don't know about that. Kanan isn't too fond of clones in Rebels. I don't think he would help them out. Yeah, okay, it was a bad theory. I get it. But that's why we're here. We're here to throw some theories out here, because guess what? Rampart says it's impossible to find Tantiss. But somehow they're going to find Tantiss. So that's why we're here. Hebe King says, I just read that. Damn it. I just read that. Soul says, does Rampart even know Asajj Ventress? No. No, he wouldn't. But the Bad Batch would. Rampart, what he says is very interesting. And let me pull up what he says again. Actually, I don't know if I'm going to be able to show this to you guys, because it's going to be on Disney+. And you can't share your screen on Disney+. But what he says, and let's pull it up right here. What he says is very, very important, because it's the way he says it too. It's his last lines here. Let's see. Here we go. Let me just put the closed captioning on. I don't think I'm going to be able to show it to you guys, but I can read it to you guys. Okay. So they ask him where Tantiss is. This is when they're interrogating him. And he says it's more complicated than that. He says no one knows the coordinates of Tantiss. It was designed that way. But I might know a way to get around that. And that's it. That's all he says. It leaves us on this massive cliffhanger for until next week. And here's the thing. Next week is called Into the Breach. Actually, he does say one more thing. He said, "No need for threats. We are all in this together." Yeah, now he's a part of the team, and that's kind of how it ends. So the next episode is titled "Into the Breach." Now, "Into the Breach" just means like they're going into the belly of the beast type deal. This is when it all gets real. This is the last sort of arc. I know a lot of you guys have been unhappy about yesterday's episode because, one, it was too short, or two, it didn't really get us anywhere except for a prison break. In the beginning and the ending of the show, of the episode, I should say, were the best two parts with Omega and learning about all this other stuff. Now let's back up a second here and let me ask you guys: rank this episode out of 10 in the chat. Rate episode 12 out of 10 in the chat. Now, you guys saw mine in the breakdown video. It was a 7.8 out of 10, and I'm sticking to that. I've rewatched it again, and I still think it's around a 7.8 out of 10. That's where I'm at with it. I think that's a good spot to be at. I think it's a good episode. I just think it's more so leading us into what's to come. This last and final arc, these 3-episode arcs that we're going on, this last and final arc going into the finale. But you guys rate this episode out of 10. What did you think this episode was out of 10? I see a bunch of 8s. 8, 8, 8. Okay. Bunch of 8s. Yeah, I thought it was a good episode. Not the best. I thought the 2 episodes before were a lot better. 9 because it was so short. Yeah, it was the shortest episode so far. And not by much, but it felt short. It felt short for sure. Yeah. Now, I think these next 3 episodes will be on the longer side. I know the finale is probably likely to be a lot longer, but we'll have to wait and see for that. By the way, do you think that Rampart should be trusted? And 62% of you say no. Interesting. All right, a bunch of 8s and a bunch of 9s, 7.5. All right. Yeah, so we're kind of around that 7.5 to 8.5-ish range, which is good. It's a great episode. But it was just on the shorter side, and that's what kind of turned people off. I think it perfectly set up this next 3 episodes. Not with only Rampart and the prison extraction and all that stuff, and what is Rampart going to help out with, but also with Omega. We learned a lot about Omega in that last 5 minutes, if it's even that, last 3 minutes, with Omega, as it's confirmed that her blood is the most special blood in all the galaxy. It's literally like the most important. She's the most important person right now. To Palpatine, to the Empire, to everybody. She's the most important person. She's the only one that has the ability, with her blood, to transfer midichlorians without it degrading or destroying the host or whatever it may be. She is the only one in the galaxy, as far as we know. There might be others, but as far as we know, she is the only one in the galaxy that has the ability to take her blood and allow midichlorians to go from one host to another. That's important. Now, let me ask you guys. Do you think Omega is Force sensitive? Should we pull this up? Let's pull this up. This is an important question. Do you think Omega is Force sensitive? We'll get back to the Rampart stuff in a second, but let me ask you guys this. By the way, 61% of you think that Rampart can't be trusted, which is interesting to me because he's not going to be going back to the Empire anytime soon. They stabbed him in the back. He's got no future there. I don't see what his purpose of stabbing them in the back would be, but maybe. All right, let's see. Do you think Omega is Force sensitive? Now, not that she uses the Force. Sensitive. Not that she uses the Force. We're just saying she has the ability to use the Force. That's what Force sensitive means. Not she's a Force user, but she has the ability to use the Force. Now, it's strange that we're still having this conversation. It's very strange. As the first 3 episodes, I was certain after it was revealed that her blood is the most important blood, whatever, that she had a high midichlorian count. And that means, i.e., she is Force sensitive. That became a whole argument for like the next 6 weeks until Asajj Ventress showed up. And Asajj Ventress showed up and lied to Omega's face, telling her that she's not Force sensitive. And then as Omega walks away, Crosshair says, "Why would you lie to the kid like that?" And obviously she is Force sensitive. right? So Asajj Ventress comes in and tests her. And from what we learned from that episode, she is force sensitive. But then fast forward to today. And we're still having questions about whether or not she actually has the ability to train and learn to wield the Force. Is it just that her blood has the ability to transfer midichlorians? Or is she truly Force sensitive? Is the next animated Star Wars show going to be about Asajj Ventress and Omega as she learns to wield the Force? Or is she just going to be a sitting duck with no abilities in the Force? Because if she isn't Force sensitive, I could see Omega dying by the end of this season. The only reason that she was going to survive was to go off and train with Asajj Ventress, become a Force user, become a bounty hunter, and be an important piece to the puzzle. But if she's not, if she doesn't have the capability of learning to wield the Force, what's the point? She might have to die. If she's this important to the Empire, to the Emperor's plans for Project Necromancer to create a Force-sensitive clone, to actually allow the somehow Palpatine returns to happen, then she has to die. Along with everything else on Mount Tantiss, by the way. Tantiss has to be destroyed. Hemlock has to die. Emery has to die. Nala Se has to die by the end of this season. But is Omega Force sensitive? Because that changes everything. It changes absolutely everything. So you guys tell me. You tell me. All right, let me scroll up here and catch up on some chats. Didn't Cad Bane go to Tantiss? No. Cad Bane didn't go to Tantiss. When he drops off that Force-sensitive kid in episode 10, was it? In episode 10, that's Emery and Scorch go to see him. And they go to Coruscant on that space station outside of Coruscant. So Cad Bane has no idea where it is. They wouldn't allow a rogue bounty hunter like Cad Bane to know where Mount Tantiss is. That's for sure. Now, Mando United says, it will be like the Mandalorian, where Rampart will use his Imperial codes to access the information if they sneak him into an Imperial base or ship. But you don't think that that Vice Admiral Rampart, the guy who got arrested in front of the entire Senate, you don't think his chain codes have been deleted or canceled or voided or whatever you want to call it? You don't think that those are gone? You don't think that if he was to tap into a Imperial facility using his chain code, that an alarm wouldn't go off immediately and he wouldn't be given access to whatever that is? He was a vice admirable. I said that did anybody catch that in the breakdown? That I said admirable when I was saying admiral, and I literally had to correct myself in the breakdown. But I was too tired and it was way too early in the morning for me to go back and re-record it. So I was like, you get it. You get the gist. But you have a vice admiral, easy for me to say, who was arrested in front of the entire Senate. You don't think that his chain codes for the Empire have been deleted? John Groove says, how can something be designed without coordinates unless it's constantly moving? Well, we did learn in episode 2 of this season that this isn't the first facility that Dr. Hemlock has had. We saw the facility on what was that planet? Somebody in the chat help me out. What was the planet in episode 2 where Wrecker and Hunter go and find the 3 cadets that were just like hanging out there? Where there was a facility that was overgrown with those weird growing vine things. I forget the planet's name, but you guys know what I'm talking about. In episode 2 of this season, where Hunter and Wrecker went, where there was a facility before, and that was where Hemlock was. That is probably means that there was a lot more of these facilities than we know, and Hemlock has probably been moving through a lot of them. Now, Mount Tantiss just happens to be the Imperial facility of the week type deal, and maybe he's been there for a while, but there has been facilities before that. So yes, maybe it is sort of something that's been constantly moving, and that's why it's been it's been a secret, and that's why nobody knows the location, because when the location gets found out, then they just have to keep moving. And actually in Season 2, they find another hidden Imperial facility in a mountain. I forget what planet that was too, but that's where they found Gregor. That's where they helped Gregor escape from the Imperial prison. So maybe it is the case that they just keep moving these damn things. I don't know. Martha says he might just need the Bad Batch to break into some facility that could lead them to Tantiss. But again, just breaking into an Imperial facility would not give them the location of Tantiss. They've done that already in Season 3 with the Imperial facility on the snow planet, Barton 4, where Crosshair was in Season 2. And that didn't work. And they just broke into another Imperial prison to break out Rampart, and that didn't work. I don't know. John Bragg, what's up? John says, Rampart has nowhere to go. His reputation is shot due to Palpatine wanting to keep public opinions of himself high. I think he can be trusted. After all, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. I agree. I think Rampart can be trusted because he can't go back to the Empire. He's got no other options. None. Yeah, I agree. GD says, if Tech and Cody are still alive, one of them will kill Wrecker. Whoa. So it's possible that either Cody or Tech is the clone assassin, which we've been talking about for weeks. Coming close to like 2 months now, we've been talking about this clone assassin and who the hell's under that mask. And guess what? We still don't know. We still have no clue. Not a single clue at all. We have evidence to support that it could be Tech, it could be Wrecker. I mean, not Wrecker. It could be Tech, it could be a clone of Crosshair, it could be Commander Cody, it could be nobody, it could be somebody else, but we still don't know. So please tell me in the chat who you think is the clone assassin in this Bad Batch show. But we still have no idea. It could be Tech, it could be Cody, and yes, one of them could kill Wrecker. That would be insane. That would be insane. Yeah. Setron is the name of the jungle planet. Cool. Rose says, what if they infiltrate Scarif, which has records on all the Imperial projects, and Rampart impersonates an officer, and they hack into the system? Interesting. Scarif does have all the secret plans. That's what we see in Rogue One. But getting in there would be extremely difficult, as we saw in Rogue One. It was a suicide mission. Now, let me pull up this trailer that we got on Tuesday, because now there's a little bit more information about it. Let me pull up this trailer. So this trailer was released on Tuesday. We watched it before, but now we have a lot more information to go off of to understand what this trailer is really talking about. So let's watch this 30-second trailer. It's a quick one, but it has a lot going on in it.
You are a vital piece to our work here.
Secure the future of this empire.
The Empire's targeting us. If we all go in, we're not all making it out.
We're going down. Strap in. Abort the mission.
Negative.
Okay, so that's it. Let me.
You.
So that's it. A lot of old scenes, a lot of new scenes, and we're going to break it down a little bit here. But what's really interesting is the dialogue in this scene. I'm making a full-on video that comes out tomorrow about this trailer, but we're going to break it down right now. So what Crosshair says is extremely important. He says,
The Empire's targeting us.
That line was already said. The Empire's targeting us. We saw that in episode 7, I think.
If we all go in, we're not all making it out.
If we all go in, we're not all making it out. Now, that's not a line we've heard Crosshair say yet. This is a new piece of dialogue. This is probably referring to Mount Tantiss. If we all go in there, we're not making it out. And Crosshair has the most experience with Tantiss. He was a prisoner there for quite a while, so he would know. The escape that Omega and Crosshair did was extremely lucky, extremely hard to do. They had the help of Nala Se, who's now a prisoner, so she's going to be no help. They had the help of that crashed plane that was just happened to be there because of a storm that happened a few days before. Like, there was a lot and Batcher. Batcher helped him escape as well, and Batcher only helped because Omega helped heal him. So a lot went into that escape. It's not going to be very easy for them to escape if they go in there. So he's saying if we go in there, we're not going to make it out. That's what Crosshair's saying in this trailer. Trent brings up a incredible point. Who's saying abort the mission? So the next line in this trailer that's extremely important is this officer. It says, well, actually, I guess Captain Rex says we are going down, strap in, but we'll get to that in a second. Let's skip forward to this. So this officer says abort the mission. Now it just says officer in the trailer. And this trailer came out before episode 12. So I actually think that this officer is Rampart, and they just didn't want to tell us that Rampart was coming back before the episode aired. It would have been like, holy crap, did Rampart really say that? So listen. You guys got to listen to this one because it sounds exactly like Admiral Rampart.
Abort the mission.
Did you hear it? It sounds exactly like him. So it just says random officers. There's no name to it, but this was before episode 12, obviously. I think it's Rampart. Let's listen to it one more time.
Abort the mission.
I mean, come on. That sounds exactly like him, right? Give me a 1 into the chat if you think it's him. Give me a 1 into the chat if you think it's him. Give me a 2 into the chat if you think no way. No way. What's up, Christoph? What's up, Trent? What's up, General Grievous? How we doing? Give me a 1 into the chat if you think that this is Rampart. Let's listen to it one more time.
Abort the mission.
I mean, come on. That's him. That's him. Oh, I see a couple 2s. Who do you guys think it is if you're saying 2 in the chat? You guys don't think it's Rampart? Well, here's why I think it's Rampart too. Because the next line is Hunter.
Negative.
And he says negative. I think this is probably foreshadowing this mission to Tantiss. And whatever mission that they come up with, Rampart is a part of it. And Rampart's saying something happens where the mission goes wrong. And Rampart's like saying, abort the mission. We got to get out of here, whatever. And Hunter's like, yeah, negative. We're going through this. But that would make sense that it would be Rampart who's talking to him. Why would an Imperial officer be telling Hunter to abort his mission? That makes no sense. That makes no sense at all. And it sounds like Rampart.
Abort the mission.
Negative.
I mean, come on. Come on. Could be Admiral Coburn? Coburn? Who the hell's that? You think it's Rex? No, Rex. If it was Rex, it would say Rex. Sounds like D. Bradley Baker. There you go. It could be D. Bradley Baker because he voices every single freaking clone in the entire show. Yeah. No. It's not Rex because Rex has a line right before this and it says Captain Rex.
We're going down.
Captain Rex says we're going down. Strap in.
Strap in.
This is a new scene too. This is Hunter in his all blacked out armor. I don't know why he's blacked out his armor or if he's just really, really dirty for some reason. I don't know what's going on here, but he does either paint his armor black or get covered in a lot of ash or something. I don't know. But I think he probably paints it black to blend in with the Empire. I really don't know. But he's in a crashing plane.
Strap in.
And we actually see this.
Abort the mission.
Negative.
Again, right here. This is probably the same ship that he's in, that he was getting shot at. It looks like he's about to crash. This looks like the same planet where Mount Tantiss is, Wayland, it's called, but I don't really know. We can't really tell. I do like the Imperial, like old TIE fighter look. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Keto, what's up? Sounds like a clone to me. Really? Let's listen to it again.
Abort the mission.
No, it doesn't. It sounds exactly like Rampart. How does it not sound like Rampart? It literally says officer, and it sounds like Rampart. Guys, your ears are broken. Your ears are broken.
Abort the mission.
It's Rampart. It's literally Rampart. Hang on. Can we like find some? Go listen to Rampart talk. It's him. It's him. It's him. It's him! It can't be Rex because they would have said if it was Rex. Yeah. John Groom says, assuming he was talking to Hunter, that would be, could be trailer magic. Yeah, it could be. It could be that wasn't a conversation that actually happened, that was between whoever and Hunter. That could be, yeah, you're right. It could be somebody else talking to somebody else. There's always the trailer magic going on. But I'm working on a full video that's coming out tomorrow on this and how I think that this is alluding to Crosshair, Hunter, and Wrecker's death. But that'll come out tomorrow, so I don't want to tease too much about that. But this trailer and some other things make me believe that they're all going to die. And I actually have some evidence to it. So that's going to be a cool video. Regardless, I think that is Rampart. It's definitely not a clone, got a British accent. Exactly. It's got a British accent. Yeah. Trent says, I really can't tell. You're probably right. Well, I'm always right, you know? I'm just always right, you know? All right, let me scroll back up here. Fearless says, no, but she can be made force sensitive. That's actually true because her blood would be able to keep the midichlorian. Interesting. So can Omega just inject herself with a bunch of midichlorian, high midichlorian blood and just become a super soldier? Is that what we're talking about here? Is Omega's ability to be like a midichlorian sponge and soak up all the midichlorians? If she injects herself with like Yoda's blood or Grogu's blood or Palpatine's blood or Anakin's blood or somebody's blood, is she going to become like the Hulk? Is she going to turn green and be like the most powerful being in the galaxy? And I'm not talking Grogu green, I'm talking Hulk green. What do we think? What do we think? Damn, you're on live so we can't go get chicken? We can go get chicken. What do you mean? I want chicken. Are we getting chicken? I want chicken. I want chicken. Yes, I'm pretty sure she is force sensitive. Well, right now, 73% of you say yes, that she is force sensitive, but that just also means that there's 27% of you guys that think that she isn't force sensitive. Interesting. Soul says, it's the Sabine situation all over again. Yes, and I'm still getting people who are extremely upset over the Sabine situation. And honestly, I don't get how. Sabine is somebody who trained for over 15 years in the Force, and she wasn't even deserving of using the Force. How are they going to take Omega? Trent says, Omega plus Palpatine's blood equals Rey. Do you mean equals Rey literally or equals Rey power-wise? Because Rey literally is going to be a no. John says, Omega isn't force sensitive. Her genes just have the ability to bind midichlorians. My theory is that the Bad Batch started off like this, but are already have a mutation so that their blood is not viable enough. Interesting. Interesting. But then, John, that begs the question, if she injects herself with midichlorian blood, then does she become force sensitive? I think she already is. I think she already has the capability of being force sensitive, but it begs the question. It begs the question. Rey's mom is Omega? No. So Rey's mom is already established. We talked about this last stream, but she's already established as a character, Mir, and she has nothing to do with Palpatine. She's actually like she was a pilot at one point. No, it can't be Omega. It cannot be Omega. Now, Omega's blood could be used to create Rey's dad, Dathan, but that's a whole nother situation. Yeah. Fearless says, the batch will help will find a ship that's going to Tantiss. They'll go in stealth mode and hide their ship on that ship, if that makes sense. It does make sense, but their ship has gone kaboom. The Marauder is gone. And that's how they get to Tantiss. I think we saw that in the trailer. We do see them detaching from another ship, but that's an Imperial ship. Here's the thing. How are they going to just find a ship that's going to Tantiss? There's a big missing piece to that puzzle, and that's finding a ship that's going to Tantiss. There's a huge missing piece here, and that's what's Rampart's plan. And that's kind of why this is the title of the entire frickin' stream today, because I have no idea, and I need your guys' help. What the hell is Rampart churning up in that brain of his. Soul says, where would, that's what I meant to say, where would she go after escaping Mount Tantiss? The Empire and Inquisitors wouldn't just leave her alone if she was Force sensitive, would they? That's a great point, Soul. So if Omega is Force sensitive, and if Omega is really this important to Palpatine's plans, then she has to die, or else she'll be hunted down by the Empire for the rest of her life. Here's the thing. Omega doesn't show up in Rebels. She doesn't show up in the original trilogy. She hasn't shown up yet in The Mandalorian. She's not in Kenobi. She's not in Andor. She's not in Jedi Fallen Order or Jedi Survivor. She's not in anything after the Bad Batch, and neither are the rest of the Bad Batch. That's why we all think that they're all going to die. But I've been predicting that the next animated show will be Omega training with Asajj Ventress in the ways of the Force, and it will allow us to continue with Omega's story and Asajj Ventress' story, as the voice actress for Asajj Ventress said that this is just the appetizer and that there's going to be a lot more of Asajj Ventress, which I think is true, and I think we will be getting another show with Asajj Ventress. But if Omega is this important to the Empire, to the Emperor specifically, to his plans for Project Necromancer, then why wouldn't they be using all of their resources, which Palpatine said that Hemlock would have, to hunt down Omega? Now, here's my theory on all this. One, the Emperor never finds out. Plain and simple. Right now, the only people that know Omega is as important as she is Hemlock and Emery. And Nala Se, I guess. But that's it. Nobody else knows. Hemlock, interestingly, in the last episode, shows up as the Flying Dorito comes in and the clone assassin brings Omega to Mount Tantiss. Hemlock is the only one that greets her at the door. Did you guys notice that? Hemlock's the only one there. I mentioned this in the breakdown video. When anyone else shows up to Tantiss, when Nala Se shows up, when Lama Su shows up, when Hemlock shows up, when Palpatine shows up, there's like a boarding party. There's like a welcome home type, like clone troopers everywhere, stormtroopers everywhere. Hemlock is the only one there to greet Omega, which is extremely strange when she's supposed to be the most important thing to this entire project. Why is Hemlock the only one there? What do you think? Now, maybe it's because they want to keep it a secret. Maybe it's because they don't want it to get out that Omega is the most important thing in the entire galaxy. But that means only a handful of people know. That means Emery, Hemlock, Nala Se, and Omega are the only 4 people in the entire galaxy that know how important Omega is. What's up, B-Man? What's up, Land Sky? What's up? What's up, Alex? How we doing? So if those 4 people are the only ones who know that Omega is this important, then at least 3 of them have to die, and Omega is the only one who survives. So I predict that 2 things could happen. 1, Omega dies at the end of this show, which would be tragic and probably unlikely. Or 2, everybody else dies, Mount Tantiss blows up, and there is 0 evidence that Omega is as important as she is left. That's it. Plain and simple. There is nothing left to show that Omega was as important as she is. And then the Empire will never know. The Emperor will never know. The Inquisitors will never know. Vader will never know. And we will just go on with the rest of our lives. And not only will Palpatine go back to square one, but he will move his cloning facility to Exegol, completely out of the galaxy, or at least to the unknown regions. And we'll never be able to find the cloning facility again. Until Rise of Skywalker, obviously. Whew, I just talked for a very long time. What do we think? Land Sky says, love your content. I appreciate that, Land Sky. I really, really do. I do. Earth, okay, cool. John Groom says, there seems to be a lot of trailer magic in this trailer. Could be a lot of misleading stuff. I agree. I think there's a lot of misleading things. Let's go back to this trailer and let's look at all the brand new scenes. So the first one is a brand new scene. A brand new scene. This is Omega in some sort of prison. Obviously, we know she's in the vault, but we haven't seen this portion of the vault yet. She's in a hallway here. I don't know what this is, but interesting.
You are a vital piece to our work here.
Secure the future of...
Now, this is the trailer magic we're talking about. What's up, Mace Cameron? We've already heard Palpatine say this. We already saw Palpatine. I don't think Palpatine is going to come back to Tantiss, because, again, that would lead to Palpatine knowing Omega's important and wanting to hunt her down for the rest of time.
this empire.
The Empire's targeting us. If we all go in, we're not all making it out.
We're going down. Strap in.
So everything for the first 17 seconds until this scene has already been seen. We've already seen all of that. We saw Barton 4. We saw this planet where they go to get the 3 cadets. We saw Rex versus the clone assassin. We've seen Palpatine show up to Tantiss. So it takes until here where we see Hunter painted all black with Rex saying we're going down, strap in. It takes until now in the trailer to show us anything new. But there is a lot of new stuff in the next 13 seconds. And it's very fast, so we're going to pause it a lot.
Down. Strap in.
So this is them crashing. It looks like this is Wayland, which is the planet where Tantiss is, but I mean, your guess is as good as mine. At this point, your guess is as good as mine. This was the Marauder blowing up, so this isn't new. You see Wrecker and Gonky flying away. Yeah.
Abort the mission.
These are 2 new scenes.
Abort the...
That's Rampart, guys. It's definitely Rampart. This is a new scene. This, again, I can't really tell if this is Wayland, which is where Mount Tantiss is, or if it's the planet where Tarkin's base is on. You guys know what I'm talking about? Where, season 2, where Tech dies, that planet, where the summit is held with Krennic and Tarkin and Rampart. They're all at that base. The Bad Batch know where that base is, so they might go there to get some more information. That could be this planet. That's where Tech died too. That could be similar to this. Oh, Fearless with a very generous $2 holla. I very muchly appreciate that. Says congrats on 45K subs. I appreciate that. Yes, we did hit 45,000 subscribers. I completely forgot to shout that out. I could not go any further. Hang on. Let's take a second away from that trailer. I cannot appreciate you guys enough. 45,000 is absolutely insane. This is a huge stepping stone. Yes, the next goal is 50,000, but you have to appreciate every step of the way. 45,000 is absolutely insane. So let's celebrate. Oh yeah. Thank you. Should I say thank you 45,000 times? No. I cannot thank you guys enough. 45,000, absolutely insane. Does not comprehend in my brain yet. I'm still waiting until I wake up and go, what? I'm literally going to just wake up and go, what? No. It's insane. I appreciate it. I appreciate all the support. You guys know that, of course. So yeah, 45,000. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Back to the trailer before I start crying. You're not crying. I'm not crying. You're crying. All right. Okay. So this could be that planet.
The mission.
This is on Tantiss. These are the turrets that we saw in episode 3 when Crosshair and Omega were making their escape. But this is during the daytime, so it's a different scene because that one was during the night.
Negative.
This is some troopers shooting down a plane. Maybe the death of some of our characters. Probably not, though. This does look like it is on Wayland, where Tantiss is, in this planet right here, but remains to be seen. Then we see this scene, and this is pretty weird because you got Crosshair, you got Wrecker. They're hanging from a string here. And the last time we saw a member of the Bad Batch hanging from a string, that was who was that again? Oh yeah, Tech. And he died. So it's a little strange that they're both hanging from this string, possibly alluding to the fact that they're both going to die. But somebody in the Discord, I believe it was This Is The Way, noticed this. Oh shit, my big ass head is in the way. Actually, no, the chat is in the way. Hang on. I'm if I turn the chat bot off for a second? Can I do that? Hide. Okay. Do you see in the bottom right corner, right above my head, right here, the triangle-shaped object? You guys see that? Give me one into the chat if you can see that. You guys see that? So that might be the Flying Dorito, the ship we have dubbed the Flying Dorito. That might be the Clone Assassin's ship right there. So this might be a battle between the Clone Assassin and our heroes, the Bad Batch, who are right over there. This pointing thing is kind of hard. Right over there. And their ship has clearly been blown up or is being shot down right here as it's on fire. And this is where we see Rex and Crosshair hanging. But you see the Flying Dorito right there. So this could be the Clone Assassin. He might be shooting them down, which would be tragic because we also saw just a second ago.
Abort the mission.
Negative.
This ship being shot down. So this might be right next to the Clone Assassin's ship, and this might be them being shot down, and Crosshair and Wrecker might be hanging on that right now. So this might be a pretty bad landing for them. Could be the end of something. Yeah. Could be the end of them. The Flying Dorito. Yes, we've dubbed the Clone Assassin's ship the Flying Dorito. I mean, it's a triangle. It looks like a Dorito. Come on, guys. Come on. But that's how the trailer ends, with them hanging like that and Wrecker going, ha ha. So, I don't know. I really don't know. A lot of new stuff in that trailer, but a lot of trailer magic, as we like to call it, where they could be splicing stuff together with different lines in different places, making you think one thing when something else is truly happening. A lot is going on in that trailer, but there's a lot of new information, a lot of new dialogue and new scenes that could be foreshadowing what's to come. A possible death of Crosshair, possible death of Hunter, possible death of Wrecker. But I'm making a full-on video about this for tomorrow. But let's talk about it today. Let's help my video out for tomorrow by speculating today. Let's do it. All right, let me pull up the chat again so I can see what you guys are talking about. I'm still very far behind, so let me catch up. Fearless says, Clone X, or the CX2 clone, is a super clone with the abilities of all the other Bad Batch members. They probably were the test clone or the blueprint for each having one ability extracted or pulled from the other clones. So you think that the Clone Assassin is a combination of Wrecker, Crosshair, Tech, and Hunter's abilities? I kind of like it. I kind of like the theory. But we haven't really seen like Wrecker's ability or even Hunter's ability. You kind of seen Tech's and Crosshair's, but those are kind of just being good at shooting and being a little bit smart, you know? Your pal Joe, what is up? Yeah. So, I don't know. We'll see. Christoph says, oh, I nearly missed your stream, dear friend. I appreciate it, Christoph. Best wishes from Germany. Oh, we got another fellow German in the chat. I guess we're growing a fan base over in Germany. All right. Where was I? No, we just scroll down to the bottom. Schnikes. Keto, what's up? Keto says, bro, Vader has to show up in the finale. I don't know. Let's ask the class. Do you guys think that Darth Vader is going to show up in this Bad Batch finale? Or in the last 3 episodes, I should say? I go back and forth on this. Because I think Tantiss will be destroyed. And Vader's probably not going to be there for that. But also, if Tantiss is as important as Palpatine made it sound in the first 3 episodes, then wouldn't he send his most important people to go protect it? Like Vader? Maybe even the Inquisitors? We saw the trailer for the Tales of the Empire the other day. And what was interesting about that trailer was not only Barriss Offee being an Inquisitor, which was unbelievably cool, but when she was being brought on to be an Inquisitor, there was a clone that said, be glad you're not a Jedi, or whatever they said. But that means that the clones were still around at the time. We've seen in the Bad Batch, the Empire has switched over to the TK troopers, or the clone troopers, and gone away from the CT troopers, or the clones. Now, maybe the Tales of the Empire takes place before? What if we saw Now, hear me out on this one. What if we saw some Inquisitors in the finale and we saw Barriss Offee as an Inquisitor? Sort of like tease out Tales of the Empire right before it comes out and maybe even get some excitement brewing there. How cool would that be? And maybe even get to see some Asajj Ventress too and get some Barriss versus Asajj. Do you guys think Asajj Ventress is going to show up in the finale? There's a lot of people. So let's ask the question. Who do you guys think is going to show up in the finale of this show? Here are your options. And you can say all of them if you want. You got Vader. Why did I say it like that? You got Vader. I sounded like Tow Mater. You got, I'm the best backwards driver in Radiator Springs. You got Vader. You got Boba Fett. You got Asajj Ventress. You got some Inquisitors. You got Palpatine. Those are your 5 options, I guess. Who do you think's going to show up? Who do we think? You got Vader? That's a great Tow Mater impression, actually, but I can only say it. I can only do the impression when I'm saying, you got Vader? You got Vader? That's awesome. Okay. The Empire has been around for about 1.5 years at this point in time. Yeah, the Bad Batch does cover a lot of time. It's been about 1.5 years. Yeah, about 1 year to 2 years. Yeah, something like that. True. Ventress and Palpatine. You think Ventress will show up, really? I think Ventress will show up probably in the last scene to come take Omega, if that's still what's going to happen. But I don't know if she's going to come in and help save the day type deal, you know? Grogu, imagine. See, at some point, we're going to have to get the story of Grogu after him being saved from the Jedi Temple by Keller and Beck. A lot of fans loved that episode in The Mandalorian Season 3, and I did too. Keller and Beck coming in, Ahmed Best getting his redemption. And it was really cool, but it didn't really tell us anything about where Grogu has been since then. Why is he force choking Cara Dune? Why is he doing all this crazy stuff? Like, he went through a lot in those 30, 40 years in between Order 66 and... Or not 40 years. What is it? 30 years, maybe? It's 19 years till A New Hope. And then it's about 11 or 9 years after that. So, yeah, you're talking about 28-ish years. So 28 to 30 years. Grogu went through a lot before we see him in The Mandalorian Season 1. I don't think he was with Keller and Beck the entire time, so maybe he does get captured by the Empire. Maybe he does go to Mount Tantiss. Maybe he will be in the Bad Batch. But I don't know. I feel like The Mandalorian Season 3, although it showed us who saved Grogu from the Jedi Temple, it didn't give us any information about his time in between The Mandalorian and where we saw him in Order 66. Yeah. Keto says, but Vader shouldn't find out about Project Necromancer. Yeah, no, he shouldn't. And he doesn't until later on in the comics when he goes to Exegol. He actually goes to Exegol in the Vader comics with Ochi of Bestoon, who's from Rise of Skywalker. Keto says, if it's not a clone's voice, then who else would it be? Well, it would be Ramparts. That's what I'm saying. That voice of somebody saying abort the mission, it sounds like Rampart. Yeah. And by the way, right now, do you guys think Omega is force sensitive? Only 70% of you guys think she is. So for those 30% that say no, what? Like, how is she not force sensitive? If she has the ability to transfer or allow midichlorians to attach or stay or not degrade or whatever we're calling it, if she's a midichlorian sponge, wouldn't that mean she has very high midichlorian count, meaning that she has the ability to use the force? I don't know. Aaron, what's up? Dominic, how we doing? If it was Rampart, they would have written his name there, not officer. Well, no, they wouldn't have, Fearless, because if it was... Let me go back to what we're talking about here. If this was Rampart saying abort the mission here, it wouldn't say... well, the reason it doesn't say Rampart is because this trailer came out before Episode 12. Before Episode 12 dropped yesterday, this trailer was dropped on Tuesday. So they didn't want us to know that Rampart was coming in. Yeah. Yeah. Keto says, do what must be done. Lord Vader, do not hesitate. Show no mercy. And Vader kills the entire Bad Batch. I think the Bad Batch are probably going to make a sacrifice play where they blow up Mount Tantiss and save Omega. I don't really know if Vader's going to come in and chop all their heads off. As funny as it would be, as fun as that does sound, I don't think that's what's going to happen anymore. It could be a scenario like in Rebels Season 2, where Ahsoka versus Vader happens on Malachor 5, and Malachor, the Sith temple blows up, and Vader comes out like barely alive from the explosion. It could be something similar to that, where Vader's present. He's present for the explosion on Tantiss, but he comes out alive. That would be pretty cool. I just want to hear the coolest sound in Star Wars. All right, tell me what your favorite sound in Star Wars is. I'll give you my top 3. Number 1 is Vader's breathing, not just normally, though, when he's like dying or when his suit is injured. You hear it at the end of Return of the Jedi when he's dying. You hear it in the Kenobi show. You hear it in Rebels when Ahsoka's fighting him. And it would be awesome to hear it again at the end of the Bad Batch. You know what I'm talking about? It's not the... It's the...
This is where the fun begins.
My impressions are spot on. So that's my favorite. That's my favorite one. The second one is the obviously. What the hell's it called? Damn it. It's the seismic charge. Thank you. Seismic charge. So it goes Vader's breathing when he's hurt. Seismic charge. Interesting. I need a third one, don't I? Third one. Interesting. Lightsaber igniting. Lightsaber igniting is good. The Force tune. Oh, well, if we're talking about themes, that's different. We're talking about just sound effects in Star Wars. Not the soundtrack. Not the soundtrack. The Wilhelm scream. That's pretty good. The Wilhelm scream's pretty good. I'll do that one. Or I kind of just like Jabba. Just Jabba's voice. Oh. Yeah. That might be my third. Martha says, I agree with the Scarif plan. The only way for Rampart to download all of the vital information for the future of the rebellion. I like the Scarif plan. Because Scarif would be a place where they would have all of those plans. But the problem is, Scarif is supposed to be like this locked down place. And that's why in Rogue One, all the heroes have to die when they go there. Because there's no way out. Nick says, I am not one with the Force, or I am one with the Force, sorry, and the Force is with me. Okay. Fearless says, Rampart can find them a ship. Rampart will know where certain Imperial bases are. That's pretty helpful, I guess. But he won't really know anything else, I guess. Yeah. Keto says, I mean, it wouldn't be the first thing from a novel that they retconned. Dave don't care about the Rise of Skywalker novel. Oh, you're talking about Rey's mom? Is that what you're saying? That they're going to retcon it to be Omega? No. I don't think so. Because Rey's mom is in the movie. She's in Rise? Yeah, she's in Rise. Yeah. Rampart knows a lot, which is surprising that he's kept alive. That's true. Some people have brought that up. Why would the Empire keep Rampart alive and not just kill him? Well, there's a few answers to that. Killing him would not be seen as to the rest of the galaxy as very good. Also, they have prisons like this one where they need help. But also, the Empire changes all their information, all their codes all the time. So the information that he has isn't all that important. The base that he was working on was Topoka City on Camino, and he destroyed that himself. He doesn't know the location of Mount Tantiss, so what help really is he? You know? Hyperspace jumping sound, that's a good one. Yeah. All right, let's pull this up, because I gots to know. This poll isn't budging, I don't think. I gots to know. I gots to know. Do you think Darth Vader will be in the Bad Batch finale? Yes or no? Quick and easy yes or no. By the way, the last poll was not mathing, but 69% nice of you guys think that Omega will be Force sensitive, and 30% say no. Interesting. So let's see. Do you guys think that Vader will be in the finale? In the finale. Alex says they will go to Coruscant's space station, grabbing the coordinates there while transferring an M-count prisoner. Yeah, I think that could be likely, that they find an M-count prisoner or something, or they convince the Empire that they have an M-count prisoner, maybe use Fennec Shand, something like that. But then Rampart isn't helpful at all in that scenario. Like, they don't need him. They already know that the Empire's hunting M-count people. They already have the person of Fennec to help them out with that. So they wouldn't need Rampart. Rampart has a role in this. I just don't know what it is yet. Just can't figure it out. Omega could fake her death. Omega could fake her death. That would be pretty good. Maybe that's how the Empire forgets about her, because she's so important to what they're doing at this point. Can I get some good cups follow orders in the chat, please? Bum, bum. Okay. Where was I? B-Man says, what's up? What's up, B-Man? Rem says, Hemlock has his own agenda. Yeah, Hemlock is still a mystery to me. He's up to no good. He's still holding that left hand of his with a black glove on it. I don't know what that's all about. Yeah, he's got a lot going on that we really don't know. He has that weird creature thing from episode 2. He also has the gas from season 2 that he used on Crosshair that he was talking about, and obviously that gas is going to come back to play a big role. There's a lot of stuff from the first 2.5 seasons of this Bad Batch show that are going to come back in this finale. Some of the things that we're forgetting about is the gas that he uses on Crosshair, is probably the weird tentacle creature that he left on that previous planet. He probably has some sort of sample of that or something. The Zillo Beast, of course, is going to come to play a huge role because we know the Zillo Beast is currently on Tantiss. There's a lot of key details that have been spread out through Season 1 and Season 2, and even in Season 3, that are probably going to come into play in this finale. Yeah. The nitrotoxin. Yeah, is that what it's called? Nitrotoxin? Sure. Yeah, the gas that he created. And he's immune to it. That's a big key thing that was shown to us in that second season, that he's immune to it, but nobody else is, which is interesting. Interesting. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. The Galactic Ponderer, what's up, says, Quinlan and Asajj Ventress will be the main characters of the Hidden Path show, with Barriss, and Barriss will take Omega to Peridia. No. I don't think anyone's going to Peridia, but Barriss, we already see in Tales of the Empire, is going to be an Inquisitor at this time. I don't know. The whole Tales of the Empire thing is going to be very interesting to see where Barriss Offee's character ends up, because she is going to become an Inquisitor, but as soon as Vader sees her, he's probably going to kill her, if we're being honest. Keto says, that's why I think Vader will showing up is unlikely. Vader cannot know about Project Necromancer. That's true, Keto, but a lot of people on Tantiss, working on Tantiss, don't even know about Project Necromancer. It's hidden inside the vault, and most of the people working there have no idea about it. There's a lot of other things going on Mount Tantiss that don't involve Project Necromancer, that it can be kept a secret from even Vader if he shows up there. Yeah. Grill Fit Warrior, what's up, says, I think Omega is Force sensitive and could be trained to use it. However, being that her and Boba Fett are the exact same age, and we haven't seen a thing about her, I think she dies at the end of this show. Really? Omega dying at the end of this show would be a massive surprise to me, and probably most of you guys as well, as a lot of you guys say that Disney won't kill off a kid, which I disagree on completely, as we've seen many kids in Star Wars die. Even Ewoks die in Star Wars, which is just wrong. But I don't think Omega's going to die at the end of this season. I think she's going to go on and probably train to use the Force and all that stuff. But yes, her being the same age as Boba is pretty intriguing, and being obviously the sister to Boba is pretty intriguing because maybe the two of them will be on screen together, which would be awesome. Yeah. Christoph says, that sounds like tech with the we are not making it all out. No, that was Crosshair. It says Crosshair in the trailer. Yeah. I rewatched the episode with her at Tantiss, and she was looking at Crosshair? What? I'm confused. Palpatine got his Force-sensitive clone, so doesn't that mean she dies? Well, Palpatine gets his Force-sensitive clone a long, long time after the Bad Batch. Like, the Force-sensitive clone that Palpatine creates is way later, and Snoke included in that is way later. Like, way later. You're talking about 30 plus years later when Snoke is created, because he's not even created by the time of the Mandalorian. So it's a long time from now. Rampart is going to turn good. I think so too, Fives. I do think so. I think Rampart has no reason to keep working for the Empire as the Empire completely turned on him, but we'll have to wait and see. They better not kill Gonki. Oh, they better not kill Gonki. Gonki, I think, along with Batcher, has been left, because Gonki's alive. He's, I think, from what we see, he survives the explosion with Wrecker of the Marauder. But Gonki and Batcher seem to have been left on Pabu. So for now, they're safe. For now. Yeah. Eridu is Tarkin's base? Okay, interesting. Martha says, reminds me of the Techno Union holding Echo prisoner. Nobody knew until Tech and Rex discovered it. You're saying as opposed to who? What? I think Rampart's plan to get around this is to go get coordinates to Coruscant space station where bounty hunters transfer M-count prisoners. Yeah, but even that space station won't have the coordinates to Tantiss. They would have to have some sort of staged Force-sensitive kid to get picked up by Emery and by the Empire to be sent to Tantiss, and then they would be able to go there. I really don't know how they're going to do this, guys. I really don't. How they're going to get to Tantiss, I have no clue. But it's becoming less and less likely that it is going to be Emery. Now, I do think Emery will still turn on the Empire and probably save Omega and probably kill Hemlock or something like that. But I don't think she's going to be the one to send the coordinates to the Bad Batch at this point. Yeah. Keto says, make a video of you saying Gonki 45,000 times. Okay. I'm on it. Thank you, guys. Thank you. You built a strong army, Mike. So far, so good. Yeah. Rose says, the planet where Tech dies is Eridu, where Tarkin's fortress is. Okay. Yeah. Brian Smith says, the clone assassin. What about him? Are you leaning towards a self-sacrifice death or being killed by the Empire? For the Bad Batch, I'm going to say a self-sacrificing death. I think they're all going to sacrifice themselves to blow up the base on Tantiss and to save Omega. But, yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to wait and see. Yeah. I want to see more Commander Cody. Me too. I want to see Cody. Hopefully he's the clone assassin. It would be a cool way to kind of have his character end. As somebody brought up in a previous stream, in Star Wars Rebels, Rex wakes up from like a nightmare and he's talking about Cody, and he's like scared by it. Like something about Cody and how they were in a battle together or something. Now, maybe you could interpret that as him flashing back to the Clone Wars when he was working with Cody, but it could be in this Bad Batch 3rd season that he's the one who kills the clone assassin, and he rips off the helmet and realizes that it's Cody, and he's like scarred by that because he just killed his own clone brother, which would be devastating, but also very cool at the same time. It would be an incredible story, but obviously extremely devastating. To see Cody die and to see Rex be the one that kills him, that would be insane. Always wanted to see Rex versus Cody, and we might actually get to see that happen, which would be so damn cool. So damn cool. Land Sky says, I think that it's Crosshair's genes in a tech character. Interesting. Vader doesn't know about Tantiss. He doesn't until Palpatine tells him about Tantiss. You know? And by the way, right now, 62% of you think that Vader will not be showing up in the finale, and 38% of you do, which is actually a whole lot of you still, so. Yeah. Vader is busy with the Inquisitors. He's got nothing to do with Tantiss. But what about the Inquisitors showing up? Omega is Force sensitive. There's a lot of Force sensitivity going on with Project Necromancer and with Mount Tantiss in general. So where there's Force sensitive kids or Force sensitive Jedi or whomever, if Asajj Ventress shows up, then the Inquisitors and Vader should show up. No? Don't you think? Yeah. Grillfit Warrior says, no, Vader isn't interested and doesn't care about what the Emperor is doing. He's chasing Jedi at this point. Well, yeah, but he's chasing Jedi for the Emperor. Vader is not like doing his own thing. He's completely the Emperor's bitch, for lack of a better word right now. He's absolutely just doing everything the Emperor tells him to do, which is hunt down Jedi at the moment. So if Asajj Ventress is there, that's technically his job to go hunt her down. Yeah. Mace Cameron says, the Empire has been about, oh, I already said that. The Empire has been around for about a year and a half by now. Yes. Brian says, I believe Emery will turn against Dr. Hemlock and likely sacrifice her life to save Omega. And the only thing that is going to happen is a clone rebellion. I think so too. I think Hemlock's a goner for sure. And it is probably likely that he dies to Emery, which would be kind of cool, but we'll see. Palpatine will face off against Clone 99 and zap them. That would be absolutely insane, Master Revan. That would be wild. That'd be wild. Christoph says, maybe Palpatine will arrive and roast them all. Well, that's kind of what Master Revan just said. I doubt it. I don't think Palpatine can show up because then he'll know how important Omega is, and then Omega will never be safe ever again. Yeah. Containment Breach next episode? Yeah, so next episode's called Into the Breach. Does that mean there's going to be a containment breach and maybe maybe something like the Zillo Beast escapes? Or does it mean like into the breach, like we're going into the belly of the beast type deal? Yeah. I wonder. The Galactic Ponderer says Barriss will show up Maul style and then credits. Will show up Maul style? Oh, you mean like show up and then like do the two lightsaber blade thing? I wonder if they're going to set up Barriss, because we know that she's coming in Tales of the Empire. Tales of the Empire comes out 3 days after the finale of this show. I wonder if they're going to set that up in any way with Barriss. It'll be interesting. It will be interesting. Vader and the Emperor are Sith and don't care about each other's plans unless it interferes with their individual plans. The betrayal of the Emperor should be apparent to Vader by now. Yes and no. The Sith work in obviously the rule of two, where there's a master and an apprentice, and the apprentice always eventually overthrows the master. But there is a time period, in the time period that we're in right now with the Emperor and Vader, where Vader is the apprentice to the Emperor. Even in Empire, he's kneeling before the Emperor. Like, he still is the apprentice. Yes, he is eventually going to overthrow him, as all Sith do, but the apprentice is still the apprentice to the master until he overthrows him. Yeah. Rose says, no, they won't send Vader. I think the writers are holding Vader in reserve to not overuse him. He is, after all, appearing in Tales of the Empire. That's true. He does appear in Tales of the Empire, so that might be a little bit too much Vader, you know? I gotta say, Disney gets a lot of shit for a lot of stuff that they do with Star Wars, but the way that they've done Darth Vader is like incredible. It's so damn good. From Rogue One alone, but to Rebels, where he's just an absolute beast, to Ahsoka, where he shows up briefly, to Kenobi, where he's unbelievable. He just snapping people's necks, dragging people around, to Jedi Survivor and Fallen Order, where he's an absolute unit. He is done so well in all these projects. So I'm excited to see him, absolutely excited to see him in Tales of the Empire. And hopefully we get to see him in the Bad Batch, but we'll see about that. Dominic says Cody Ventress will definitely show up, and they will have endings kind of the Clone Wars, and all the Bad Batch helmets lined up. Ooh, an ending where they imagine Omega's the only one who survives, and she goes in and finds their helmets and puts them on sticks, just like the end of the Clone Wars. That'd be a little too on the nose, but it wouldn't surprise me if Omega did get all their helmets at least, because she has Tech's goggles, and maybe she goes back to Pabu and puts all the helmets next to the goggles. Ooh, this is going to be a heartbreaking finale. That's for sure. Yeah. Grogu isn't old now. He's not that old. I mean, he's 50 in The Mandalorian, but he's still a baby. Yeah. Snoke is probably created now with Omega's blood. Well, Snoke is created by splicing a lot of blood together, so it's probably a combination of Omega's, Grogu's, Luke Skywalker's, like all these people's blood together, probably. Yeah. The Emperor was holding Vader back in the early days of the Empire. Yes, that is true in comics. He's training the Inquisitors and he's hunting down Jedi, but he's not really shown publicly to the people of the galaxy. He's not really immediately introduced. That is true. Yeah. Grillfit Warrior says, I love that Grogu rejected the Jedi to become a Mandalorian, probably because he watched them all die and the Mandalorian saved him. I want to see a show about Din Grogu. Oh, just about Grogu, you're saying? Yeah, I'm sure we'll get a lot more Grogu even past the sequel trilogy, as he's going to live for probably another 800 years. But I wonder when we'll see any of that, you know? I wonder. Christoph says, but Rampart is very busy by spending some time inside the Imperial cell. What do you mean? Soul says, I want a Sabine at the Imperial Academy show. A Tales episode, flashback of whatever, so badly. Ooh, interesting. You could actually have a Tales of the Empire Season 2 follow Sabine because she worked for the Empire. Remember when she created that crazy machine that killed all of her Mandalorian people? That's actually really, really intriguing. Very intriguing. Oh, Melissa Skywalker, what's up? Melissa, we played it for you earlier, but let's do it again. Melissa, welcome to the people who love Star Wars. Oh yeah. Welcome to the people who love Star Wars, Melissa. I really appreciate that very muchly. If you guys are not a member yet, it's only 99 cents at the lowest tier. There's 3 different tiers, and you get this cool little lightsaber next to your name in the chat if you haven't noticed that already. And you get some other cool perks with it as well. And it's instant access to the giveaways, which we do at the end of every month. So, yeah, think about it. Okay, where was I? Mando United says she might be more of a carrier, and that's why they need the other kids as well to complete the puzzle. Maybe the other kids just have a higher midichlorian count. Here's the thing. It's obvious that there's Force users in the galaxy, or high midichlorian count. They just don't have the training. So Luke Skywalker would never be able to beat Vader and the Emperor if he didn't go train with Yoda on Dagobah. So all these Force-sensitive kids that are growing up in the galaxy, like Jax and Eva, the Force-sensitive kids in the vault, these kids don't have the ability to train in the ways of the Force. And that's why you don't have a bunch of Jedi running around during the time of the Empire, because there's no one to train them, except for Ezra Bridger, who gets trained by Kanan, who also kind of gets trained by Ahsoka, and you have all those people. So that's sort of why there's not an uprising of Jedi during the time of the Empire. But Omega also doesn't have training either. So she's not going to be a force sensitive, or force user, I should say, right away. That doesn't mean that she's not force sensitive. I know that Vader will show up. They be keeping him in the back. Yeah, they do. They do be keeping him in the back, don't they? They do be, don't they? Vader won't get involved. The Bad Batch is beneath him. Trying to make a force-sensitive clone is the Empire's thing, or the Emperor's thing, and Vader won't be interested unless forced to be. Yeah, but he might be forced to be. That's what I'm saying. If the Emperor finds this as like the most important thing that he's doing, then wouldn't he send his guy out there and to protect it? Or maybe he'd send himself like he does in the Clone Wars when he goes and fights Savage Opress and Darth Maul. Maybe Palpatine shows up, like somebody was saying earlier, and kills them all, which would be insane. Omega would be like 45 by then? By when? You're talking about by the Mandalorian? Omega could definitely be alive by the Mandalorian. I'd love to see Omega in live action. I would absolutely love it. Actually, give me a 1 into the chat if you want to see Omega in live action in the Mandoverse, maybe in a Book of Boba Fett Season 2. And give me a 2 if you're like, no, absolutely not. I don't want to see Tamara Morrison in a blonde wig. No. So 1 for yes, Omega in live action, 2 for no. Let's see where you guys are at. A bunch of 1s right off the bat. Interesting. I'd love to see Tamara Morrison in a wig, don't get me wrong. A blonde wig on Tamara Morrison. Whew. Let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at that. Omega live action. I believe there's some. That's pretty funny. Here we go. Now we're talking. You guys don't want to see this? Obviously, that's Jango Fett, but that is Tamara Morrison. You're telling me you don't want to see this? You're telling me you don't want to see this? That's hilarious. Okay, moving on. Mr. Beckham, what's up? What is up? Vader isn't going to have time to deal with some rogue clones. He's busy training with Palpatine and hunting down other surviving Jedi at this point. Yeah, but if it's this important to Palpatine, I don't know. And even if Perfect Clone was not able to take the Emperor's spirit, this is because it was creepy. Or this is why it's creepy. What? What are you talking about? Boba shows up with Ventress. Boba does know who Ventress is, so that might be the connection to how Omega meets Boba Fett, but I don't know if that will happen in this show. They might save that till like the next show, you know? Yeah, no? What is Hemlock's endgame? To overthrow Palpatine? No, I don't think he wants to take over the entire Empire. He's an evil scientist. He's not like trying to take over the entire galaxy. He just wants to, one, work for Palpatine and be a good servant to Palpatine by creating this force-sensitive clone, but he's also an evil scientist. We've seen some of the stuff that he's done before with the neurotoxin gas stuff and that weird, like, tentacle creature that's on that planet from Episode 2. Yeah. So I think he just wants to be a scientist, an evil scientist, you know? Twilight Knight, what's up? Containment breach in the next episode? Probably. Anyone else think that Palpatine would fill Vader in on his plan for immortality? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think he would, but he doesn't have to. You know? Doesn't have to. The galaxy is very big. Vader does not have time to show up for every little issue, but this is a big issue. This is Palpatine's biggest project, and he needs to protect it. Brandon, what's up? Brandon says, Bad Batch Season 3 is becoming more and more interesting with every episode. I agree with that. I think we got 3 episodes left, and I think they're all going to be 3 incredible episodes. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the next episode is Into the Breach. The titles, that is. The next one after that is Flash Strike, or Flash Strikes. And then the final one is The Cavalry Has Arrived, which is the first line that Wrecker says in the Clone Wars Season 7. Yeah. Brandon says, I don't think so, because Palpatine keeps his plans well hidden. That's true. even from Vader. 100%. Yeah. Other Brandon Tran says, someone on Twitter came up with a good theory. What if Rampart will use Commander Scorch as his contact to help the Bad Batch break into Tantiss and rescue Omega? Does he know Scorch? Sorry. Does he know Scorch? Hang on. Let's see. Rampart and Scorch. Were they together? I don't think they were. How would he know Scorch? I don't think he would know him. But I like the theory. Will Scorch be willing to help Rampart? I doubt it. I seriously doubt it. Twilight Knight says, Emery helps Omega escape. They find the Zillo Beast and it's tamed by Omega and the other kids. The Zillo Beast destroys Tantiss and Hemlock is eaten. Nala Se dies as well in the destruction. It's a good theory. It's definitely a good theory. Yeah, I think it's the Zillo Beast is going to play a role in this regardless. Yeah. Rampart did not send Nala Se to Tantiss, or did send Nala Se to Tantiss, so he could know where the transfer is. That's true. He could go back to where he sent Nala Se. Interesting. That's a good point. He did send Nala Se there, so he would know how to send somebody there. Or at least where he sent Nala Se, he would know. Yeah. Yeah. Pam, what's up? Says, love the chat. Hashtag where is Cody? Hopefully he's the clone assassin. But we'll see. Brandon says, the last 3 episodes are going to be interesting, to be honest, Mike. Oh, they're going to be absolutely insane. I think they're going to be really, really top tier. Yeah. Because the reviews that came a few weeks ago talked about how they've still seen the next 2 episodes. They haven't seen the finale, but they saw the next 2. So I think there's still a lot to come. Yeah. Plagueis played his cards close to the chest, and I think Sidious does the same. Yeah, me too, Melissa. Echo says, this season is very dark, and I'm sure that there's it's not going to be a good ending. The Bad Batch will be turned into Task Force 99, including Tech, so this will bring Task Force 99 into canon. That would be insane if they all got brainwashed and turned into an evil version of the Bad Batch. That would be absolutely insane. And very, very dark, like you said. Very dark. I don't see it happening, but it is an interesting theory. Yeah. All right. We do have some other news to get to that is not Bad Batch related, so we'll go over it pretty quickly here. But the first deal is the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. The Mandalorian and Grogu movie might get a huge update later today because at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2:30 Pacific Time, there is CinemaCon in California, and Lucasfilm has a panel there, or has a presentation there. So we're going to get some sort of news from Star Wars today. It's most likely going to be the Mandalorian and Grogu movie because it's the next Star Wars movie, and it's going to start filming in June. The only problem is it starts filming in June, so there's not going to be a trailer or anything today. It's just going to be some announcement about where they are in production or something. But yeah, watch out for that news later on today. Probably around 5:30 is when that's going to happen. But we do have some other news regarding other things that don't involve that. And that is, we talked about Star Wars Outlaws because there was a trailer released on Tuesday. But one of the big things that I was wondering was, with the Crimson Dawn being reintroduced in that game, in the time period that it takes place in, will Darth Maul's apprentice be in the game? And Darth Maul's apprentice is, of course, Kira, but I like to call her Kiara, from the Solo movie. And it's been confirmed that she's in the game, as we can see right here. This is Kiara, or Kira. She will be in Star Wars Outlaws. This is her right here. She's with the Crimson Dawn. She's the leader of the Crimson Dawn. She's the apprentice to Darth freaking Maul. This is coming from Bestman Bulletin. Ubisoft, the trailer came out the other day, blah, 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 blah. And Kira from the Solo movie will be in the game. So that's kind of the gist of it. We don't have to read the entire article, but there she is. She is back. If you guys read the comics, you know the War of the Bounty Hunters type stuff, the Crimson Reign stuff. This is obviously her. this is going to be pretty damn cool. Like, she is the apprentice to Darth Maul. She's not Force sensitive, but she's the apprentice to Darth Maul, and seeing her is going to be pretty cool. So that's a little bit of that news. And then we also have some Daisy Ridley Rey movie news. She will be getting the script next month. So finally we're getting some Rey movie actual news, because she's going to be reading the script next month. So this script is coming close to being done completely, and Daisy Ridley will be reading it very, very soon. Whoops. Over the course of several months, Daisy Ridley has been giving same answers regarding the status of the Rey movie, blah, 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 that she hasn't read the script. But today, Emperor Magazine launched their latest issue, which features the upcoming Star Wars live-action Disney Plus, The Acolyte, on the cover. The Acolyte is undoubtedly the focus in the issue, but they do have some brief quotes from Daisy Ridley herself, and she says this: "I know the story beats, but other than that, I'm not sure what it's going to be. But I'm reading a script next month. I'm curious about all of it." So she does know the story beats. That's obviously why she signed on, because of the story itself. But she doesn't read the script till next week. So that's pretty cool. That's just a little bit of an update about that. And that's all we really have for other Star Wars news, because guess what? The most important thing right now is The Bad Batch. There's only 3 episodes left, and then we got Tales of the Empire right after that on May the 4th. And one other thing I wanted to mention was The Phantom Menace. The Phantom Menace re-release is coming on May 3rd, and it's going to come out all over the weekend. May 3rd to, I'm guessing, the next following weekend. So if you want to go get your tickets for that, they are available now. I already got mine. Getting to see the Duel of the Fates in the theaters, as somebody who didn't get to see it because I wasn't even born in 1999, is going to be pretty damn cool, so I'm excited. So that was the other news. Now that we've talked about The Bad Batch episode 12, let's talk about predictions for episode 13, episode 14, and episode 15. What is your craziest prediction? Now I'm talking craziest because who knows what's going to happen. What is your craziest prediction, boldest prediction for the next episode of The Bad Batch? What do we think is going to happen next? What do we think? Let me actually check this out. Did we go over everything I wanted to go over? Oh, we have new images from The Acolyte. That's what I wanted to do too. Hang on, let me pull those up. While you give me your craziest predictions for The Bad Batch, let me pull up these images for the new images for The Acolyte. Where are they? No. What the heck? Where are they? Oh wait, maybe they were over here. I guess not. What the frack? What the friggity frack? What the poop? Where are these? Oh, wait, found them. Okay, there we go. Found them. Okay, so this is the images that we got, a sneak peek at The Acolyte, first images. This is the character of May. I can't really go full screen on it, but you can see that. That's the character of May. She's our main character. She is The Acolyte. She's going to be like a Sith type character, but not really a Sith, because we know the Sith at the time are Palpatine and Plagueis, and Plagueis is Master Tenebris. So she will be an apprentice of sorts, an acolyte of the Sith. Then you got this character here. This is Master Indara, I believe her name is. This is played by Mary Ann Moss, whatever her name is. The girl from The Matrix. That's her. She's going to be a Jedi Master. Then you got a bunch of Jedis here. This is the girl from Logan, Daphne Keene. This is the guy from Squid Games, Lee Jang-cha. I have no idea who that is behind this lightsaber. And then that's another Jedi dude. But a bunch of Jedi, they're all about to fight. Oh, there's another one over there. A bunch of Jedi, they're all about to fight a Sith Lord. Then you got the Wookiee Jedi here. His name is... I forget. But this is his speeder. It's a pretty cool looking speeder, honestly. But he is Wookiee Jedi, which is pretty damn cool if I do say so myself. A lot of this show, actually, as you notice the background here, was shot on location, which is pretty cool because a lot of people are sick and tired of the volume. I'm not. I like the volume a lot, but I'm excited for the Acolyte. I know a lot of you are very divided on the Acolyte, but tell me if you're excited for the Acolyte in the chat. I just want to get a consensus of how excited we are, because I'm really, really excited. It takes place 100 years before the Phantom Menace in a time period where we've never been before. It focuses on the bad guys, the Sith, for the first time ever, which is really, really cool. A connection to possibly Arc 2 sounds cool. A lot of Jedi, like we saw in Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, is really cool. I feel, obviously, the Leslie Headland stuff is its whole thing, but as it goes to just the content itself, I'm excited. The trailer got me really excited. The characters, although I don't know many of them yet, I'm excited to learn about them. I am excited for this game. So on a scale of 1 to 10, thanks, Soul, we'll do that. I said game. On a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for The Acolyte? Let's see where we are at with that. The trailer was cool. Yeah, the trailer was really cool. Yeah, I'm interested in the time period too. It's a cool place outside of the Skywalker saga where we've never been before. So on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you at? I'm probably at like a 9 out of 10. I'm at a 10 out of 10, 100% for Tales of the Empire. I'm at a 10 out of 10 for like Dawn of the Jedi and the Grogu movie, and Mando and Grogu movie. But The Acolyte's probably around like a 9 out of 10, probably around there. Okay, so we got a bunch of people excited for this. Good. A bunch of 10s, a couple 8s. Cool. 8.5. Cool. All right, just making sure. Just making sure. All right, let's see those bold predictions for the Bad Batch episode 13 then. Into the Breach. What are we breaching? Who's breaching? What's breaching? Why is breaching? What do we think? A 9.2. Nice. What do we think? All right, let me catch up here. Catch up on some chats. Alex says, I bet Rampart will play a huge role in these last couple episodes. Yeah, probably. I think so. I mean, I think he's going to be a big piece to the puzzle as finding Mount Tantiss. I don't know how, but he will. And I think he will actually help the Bad Batch out, even going into the finale. Yeah. Yeah. Nick says, do you enjoy the Bad Batch more than any other live-action series? No. And actually, up until even like the end of season 2, I wasn't the biggest fan of the Bad Batch. Season 3 has really brought me around to the Bad Batch. I wasn't the biggest fan of the Bad Batch at all. What was my excitement level for season 1? Like before it came out, very low. Yes, it was cool to see them in the Clone Wars season 7. And then, of course, getting an announcement of the next animated show was exciting, but it wasn't that high. And then season 1 was good. The premiere was the best episode. And then it was kind of like filler episodes or like mission of the week type episodes. And I get it was establishing the characters. It was establishing Omega. But even season 2, which I thought was better than season 1, not until like the end really did it get me really focused in. And then season 3 blew me out of the water. Like season 3 has been so much better than the first 2 seasons, in my personal opinion. Not only to connect everything else together, like Project Necromancer, Mount Tantiss, connecting to Thrawn, connecting to Palpatine, connecting to all this stuff, but it really means something now. And I'm more invested in the characters too. Like if they die, I'm going to be more sad about it because of the first 2 seasons. Obviously, I understand that the first 2 seasons had to happen to get to where we are with this 3rd season, but no, The Bad Batch is not one of my favorite shows. And it's becoming one of my favorite shows with this 3rd season, but I still have Rebels over it. I still have Clone Wars over it. I still have Ahsoka over it. I still have Mando over it. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of shows that I would put over this one. But don't get me wrong, season 3 of The Bad Batch alone, and there's still 3 episodes left, would be higher than a lot of those other shows. It's season 3 for me that's really, really got me excited for this show. Yeah. Brandon Tran says, the clone assassin could be revealed as one of 3 people. Slick. I've heard Slick a lot over the last couple days. I feel like Slick, being just like a regular clone, obviously, he is a familiar clone, but not to many. And even still, it doesn't mean much to the Bad Batch, and that's just kind of why I don't think it is. A Separatist clone traitor? What? Why? Why would it be a Separatist clone? Commander Cody, who's MIA or an evil clone of Crosshair. I think Commander Cody's the best bet of there. The clone of Crosshair theory, as much as like it does sound like Crosshair and he's really good at shooting this clone assassin, it's unlikely that it will be a clone of Crosshair, because how would they have cloned Crosshair that quickly? That's the only problem I have with it. Yeah. And Echo says Slick is a great theory because honestly it'd be cool to see him again. Yes, a lot of us who even like know who Slick is would think it's cool, but a lot of normie fans wouldn't understand. And it doesn't have much to do with the Bad Batch. Like Commander Cody would have a lot to do with Crosshair's story. Tech would have a lot to do with the Bad Batch themselves. A clone of Crosshair would have a lot to do with the Bad Batch themselves. If it's Slick, it wouldn't really have much of an impact on the Bad Batch themselves, which of course is the title of the show. What if they never reveal the clone assassin and he just dies? Then we'll just have a good laugh, you know? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know. They've spent too much time with this clone assassin, teasing out that he's definitely somebody, to not at least reveal it. At least show us his face. Yeah. I believe the clone assassin is either Tech or a new clone. I'd be happy either way, but I kind of hope that he is Tech because it would be more dark. It would be way more dark, but you wouldn't have time to redeem Tech, so you're going to just kill him off as an evil version of Tech. And that's not really what I want. I want Tech to die the way he died in Season 2. The clone assassin is definitely someone. I really hope it's not Tech because that would be a sad twist. I feel like it has to be someone. I really hope we're not being Marrocked again, but we'll see. We'll see. Soul says, do you think Sabine and Ahsoka will show up in Skeleton Crew? Maybe. I only say maybe because I don't know if Skeleton Crew is going to take place in Peridia or not. And if it's not, then we won't see Ahsoka and Sabine. Because Sabine and Ahsoka are trapped on Peridia, and they're not coming home anytime soon. So unless Skeleton Crew takes place out there, then maybe, but I don't think it is. I think it's just going to be in like the unknown regions of the known galaxy or in some outer rim planet. Yeah. A lot is still unknown about Skeleton Crew. Like, that's really cool. We're really excited for Tales, or I'm really excited for Tales of the Empire. I'm really excited for The Acolyte. I'm pretty excited for Star Wars Outlaws, but we still end the year on Skeleton Crew, and we know almost nothing about that show, which is kind of intriguing to me, but we'll see. Echo says, Into the Breach. They will recruit Wolf. Wolf could be the key. Hang on.
This is where the fun begins.
Wolf might be the key. I never even thought about that. Has Wolf been to Tantiss? Do we know this for a fact? I don't think we've seen him on Tantiss, but he is an Imperial. He might have some sort of idea where Tantiss is or how to get there, at least. And we already started to see him turn, and we know he turns because he's in Star Wars Rebels. That's a great theory right there. That's a fantastic theory. But he continues. Delta Squad and a bunch of clones, and it will end with them getting to Tantiss. I believe the last episode will be around an hour, but I hope that the rest are too. Yeah, I think the last episode will probably be the longer of the 3, but I'm sure these next episodes will be kind of close. Yeah. Brandon Baker says, I'm excited for the Acolyte, Mike. I'm interested, to be honest. Okay, here's the Acolyte level hype. We got some 8s. We got 9.2, 9.5, 6, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Interesting. Hebe King says, am I the only one who lost it a bit about the Bad Batch? I don't know what that means. Personally, I always loved the Bad Batch. In my opinion, the entire show is a 10 out of 10. I love the story and the characters, etc. Yeah, I'm not there. I love the Bad Batch now. I'm a big fan of the characters. They're not my favorite characters in Star Wars. None of them are. None of them are even top 10. And that's obviously a reason as to why it's not my favorite show. But up until Season 3 or even the end of Season 2, I wasn't like really, really looking forward to the Bad Batch every week. I didn't do watch parties for season 2 because I didn't want to wake up in the middle of the night to watch it. It wasn't that good to me. But season 3 is I'll wake up in the middle of the night all day long to watch this show. So it's kind of grown on me a little bit, but I think season 3 is just better than the first 2 seasons anyway. Yeah. Fearless says, well, I ain't got predictions, but I'm so hyped for the last 3 episodes. We'll see all our favorite clones work together to bring down Tantiss. Yeah, pretty much. So if you're a big fan of the Bad Batch, you're a big fan of Rex, if you're a big fan of all these other clones, this is kind of like the end game level event. This is it. This is what we've all been waiting for, is them taking down Tantiss. And they're probably all going to die, like Tony Stark dies. Spoiler alert, it's a 5-year-old movie. Like Tony Stark dies, like Captain America dies. There probably a lot of them are going to die. Yeah. But we'll see. The Bad Batch is on the same level as Rebels for me. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, a lot of people don't like Rebels, and a lot of people really, really like the Bad Batch. I'm the exact opposite. I love Rebels. Like, it's one of my favorite shows of all time. And Bad Batch just isn't at that level for me. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, interesting. Slick wanted freedom from the clones, so brainwashing him to be a clone assassin would be pointless because most of people wouldn't know who he is. Yeah, exactly. We just wouldn't know who he is. Brandon Tran says, what if in the Barriss Offee Sith Inquisitor arc in Tales of the Empire, her first mission is to find Order 66 survivors, and one of them is her former master, Luminara. Yeah, actually, when we were breaking down the trailer, we thought we could possibly be seeing Luminara. Like, maybe that glowing person in the trailer could have been Luminara. Could have been pretty cool. I think, yeah, she might have to face something similar to that, like killing her own master. That'd be cool. Mr. Beckham says, what is Secrets of the Clone Trooper? Releasing on 9/10/24. Oh, Secrets of the Clone Trooper. I believe it's a book. Let's look it up. Secrets of the Clone Trooper. So, why is there no news on this? Hang on. Let's go to this. Let's go to that. Let's go to this. Let's go to that. Oh, The Living Force came out today, by the way. Was anybody getting The Living Force? It's a book about the Jedi right before, like, the Phantom Menace. Where was this? I remember seeing it somewhere, but where is it? So I think it's a book about the clones, but I can't find it now. Somebody send something to the Discord. If you guys are not in the Discord, go join the Discord. This is this link in the description below. Everybody who's not in the Discord, go join it right now. Go join it right now. I can't find it, whatever. But I think it's a book. I think it's a book. Yeah. Okay. Where was I? Melissa Skywalker says, maybe the 3 children in Omega breached the outer walls of the vault. You know Omega, she is Clone Force 99 trained, and she will show the kids how to get out. Maybe. I think it's more likely that the Clone Force 99 or the Bad Batch are breaking in than Omega breaking out, but we'll see. Brandon says, aside from Outlaws, don't we also have other Star Wars games like Eclipse from Quantic Dream and the KOTOR remake from Saber Initiative or Interactive? Which have been to 2026, 2027. Oh yeah, so there's a few other Star Wars games in the works, yes, like Eclipse and like the KOTOR remake, and I think there's probably some other games that we don't know about yet. I think we're gonna get one major Star Wars video game every year moving forward. Right now, none of them are multiplayer games as far as we know, but I'd love to see like a Battlefront 3, which would be ideal. But last year we got Survivor. This year we're going to get Outlaws. I bet you next year we get Eclipse or something else. And then the following year, the Knights of the Old Republic or something else. And then we're just going to keep getting a major Star Wars game every year. Yeah. Echo says, I've loved all of Star Wars my whole life. I guarantee most of the characters in my top 10 are clones. Really? That's interesting. Rex is probably in my top 10. Yeah. So at least one clone is in my top 10. I'll give you that. I hope the Bad Batch survive, blow up Tantiss, and go live on Pabu happily ever after. Omega goes with Ventress to train, and Emery moves to Pabu as well. I don't think a happy ending is what's coming. I would be very, very surprised if that was what really happens in this third and final season. I think we're looking forward to a sad ending. A sad ending. But we'll see. You can hold out hope, Nick. You can hold out hope. My one and only prediction is Hemlock gets eaten by the Zillo Beast. I'd love to see that. Yeah. James, what's up? James says, if Vader doesn't show up, I believe this will be the first animated show where he doesn't appear in during the time frame that he's still alive. Yeah, I guess. Right? Because he's in Rebels, he's in Clone Wars, he's in Tales of the Jedi. He's in Tales of the Jedi as Anakin, but that's still Vader. Yeah. I guess you're right. Molly Tank, is it Molly Tank says the finale's got to be an hour long. The way it looks, they won't be finding Tantiss until episode 14 or 15. Episodes over 16. What? Oh yeah, I think the finale's going to be way longer. I think it's going to be a lot longer than we think at all. Yeah. James says, if the clone assassin is unmasked and it's not tech, I see so many fans being livid for for that reason, I say that it has to be tech. If it's like Cody or somebody else, I think they won't be upset. But if it's nobody, I think a lot of fans will be upset. I think if the clone assassin is revealed to be absolutely no one, a lot of fans will be upset. And then you'll have the fans who are going to be like, oh, I told you so. It was nobody. Why did you get your hopes up like that? Like, it's fun to speculate, guys. Come on. Even if it is nobody, we can have a fun laugh about it and be like, ha. And then the next show, when there's a masked figure, we're going to be like, oh my God, that's this person. And we're going to speculate about it. Like, who cares? It's fun. It's fun. Lance Guy says, do you think Star Wars will ever bring Vader back from the dead in a future franchise? No. I hope not. That would be a disaster. I mean, we already have him in the World Between Worlds in Ahsoka, and that's good enough for me. It's not really bringing him back to life, but I doubt it. I doubt it. Tank says, the final trailer shows them fighting on Tantiss during the daytime and night, so I assume it's a long episode. Yeah, but that could be like what we saw on Pabu, where they're fighting during the day and the night. The Marauder gets blown up, and then it kind of turns to nighttime. Yeah. What if Hunter and Crosshair make the ultimate sacrifice to protect Omega from Dr. Hemlock, who unleashes the Zillo Beast on them, but they die to it? You're saying that the Bad Batch died to the Zillo Beast? That would be crazy. I think we're definitely going to see the end of Crosshair, end of Hunter, and probably Wrecker 2. The big question marks to me are Omega, Emery, Echo, and whether or not we'll see Commander Cody. Those are my biggest question marks. Like, is Commander Cody the clone assassin? That's a huge one. But will Omega die? Will Emery die? And will Echo die? Because Echo hasn't been involved in this third season, like, at all. He's really just not been relevant in the slightest. So it'll be very intriguing to me if he does show up. Or if, I think he will show up at the end of the show, but I just don't know if he will be kept alive. Because he shows up and hands Omega this blaster that looks exactly like Boba Fett's blaster from the original trilogy that she has yet to use yet. And then he just dips and he's not in the rest of the show. It would just feel weird if he died. It would feel weird to me if he just died. But that's just me. That's just me. All right, let's end this poll, see where it ended at. Let's see where it ended at. Do you guys think we'll see Vader in the Bad Batch finale? The math is not mathing, but 53% of you say no. But that means 46% of you guys still said yes. Well, I guess 47, but that's pretty interesting. It's almost 50-50. I don't know. I think Vader's probably a less likely. I probably would have voted no on that too, but we'll have to wait and see. Omega's crossbow blew up in the Marauder, didn't it? That would be a waste. She's holding it in the poster for the show, though, and she never really used it. I hope not. Crosshair will probably die because he's getting a lot of development. Same thing that happened to Tech in Season 2. Cody will also not appear and show up in Kenobi Season 2. Well, Kenobi Season 2 is probably an unlikely scenario. I don't think the Obi-Wan Kenobi show is set up for a second season. Now, I just don't think there's enough story there. But maybe we'll get it. Maybe we'll get it. But yeah, I agree with you. Crosshair's getting a lot of the story development in this third season, just like Tech did in season 2. And that's probably why we're gonna get it. To get to see him dead. Brandon says, Omega living with Wrecker, Echo, and AZ would be interesting. An interesting epilogue if that did happen in the Bad Batch season 3's finale. Again, I think Wrecker's probably a goner too. I think they've spent the most time this season with Wrecker, Crosshair, and Hunter. And I think the 3 of them are all probably goners. Yeah. Is Rex still alive in the Ahsoka show? We didn't see him, if that means anything to you, but we don't see Rex die yet. And knowing Dave Filoni, and Rex is the most known clone of them all, he'll probably have some epic death for him. I just don't know when that will happen. Yeah. I don't know when it will happen. I'd love to see Rex in the Ahsoka show. I thought we were going to see Rex in the Ahsoka... Well, we did see Rex in the Ahsoka show. It was just in a flashback through the World Between Worlds. But I don't know if we'll see him. Yeah. Yeah. Hebe King says, there's 50 people watching live and only 33... What? We only have 33 likes on them? What? Smash a freaking like on this stream if you have not yet. Come on. 37 likes. Come on. Come on. I want to see it climb. Can we just make it climb? Just go boop, 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 boop. Oh, there we go. It's climbing. It's working. It's working. It's working. Okay. Echo's story is very interesting because he's not getting much screen time at all this season. So I think he can survive for that reason alone. But he doesn't show up in Rebels. And he is close with Rex. Yeah, so he's going to have to die at some point. But that doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to die in this show. He could die in the next animated show. I appreciate the hearts, guys. I do. He could die in the next animated show that could follow Omega and Ventress, and Echo could play a small role in that, and then maybe he dies in that show. I don't know. We'll have to see. James says, what if Palpatine is the one who kills them, or shows up on Tantiss and at least tortures them by using Force Lightning, and Omega pulls an Anakin with Luke and dies protecting the Bad Batch from the Force Lightning? That would be pretty crazy. That would be a crazy theory. I don't think Palpatine can know that Omega is as important as she is, or else she's going to be running for the rest of her life from the Empire. But again, she also doesn't show up in anything, from Rebels to the original trilogy to the Kenobi show. So maybe she is just in hiding the entire time. Maybe she does just go into hiding, and that's why, because the Empire, she's so important to the Empire that she has to be hidden from them. I don't know. Maybe she goes all Yoda on us and goes to Dagobah. We'll have to wait and see. If Omega does survive, now you're talking about Omega, Grogu, Ahsoka, the Rebels crew, Asajj Ventress, Quinlan Vos, Cal Kestis. All of these characters aren't in the original trilogy. Most of those characters aren't in Star Wars Rebels, other than the Rebel crew and Ahsoka. And they're not in Kenobi, and they're not in The Mandalorian, some of them. So where are they? Are they just in hiding the entire time? What is the story in between these 20 to 30 years? Like, what are they doing? Yeah. I don't know. Sergeant Curtis, what's up? Says, what's up, Rebels chat? How we doing? James says, I don't see that as it's a kid's show, but we see Anakin kill younglings in Kenobi, so it's possible. Yeah, I mean, it's a kid's show. Well, come on. Let's be honest, guys. We see Darth Maul chop people's heads off in Clone Wars. We see countless people die in Rebels and in the Clone Wars and in this show as well. Like, so many people have already died. Tech died in season 2. Did you forget about that? Yeah. In the other galaxy. So you think they're all just hiding on Peridea? That would be kind of just a sort of a take. Like, Peridea is cool because it's hard to get to in Ahsoka. That's why it's really cool. It's hard to get to. Ezra, when he wrapped up Thrawn's ship at the end of season 4 of Rebels, had no idea where they were going to take him. He just knew that they were going to save Lothal by taking Thrawn away. He was sacrificing himself. He didn't even know if he was going to survive. But he did. And the coolest part about Peridea is how hard it is to get to in the Ahsoka show. So if everybody's going there, from Grogu to Omega to Asajj Ventress, like that, no. Jedi Survivor has a fun way about it where they go to Tanalorr, and Tanalorr is a hidden planet in the galaxy that's hidden behind like a whatever it's hidden behind. Exegol is another example of it. It's hidden behind, in the unknown regions, hidden behind a nebula. Like, those are cool sort of ways to get around it. Hiding spots, to say the least. And Peridea's should be its own thing. Hard to get to. Yeah. Clone Slayer 66, what's up? Says, yo, new here. What's up, Clone Slayer? I appreciate you being here. Nick says, are you a fan of The World Between Worlds? Yes. I am a fan of The World Between Worlds for one reason and one reason only. Dave Filoni. Because he's in charge and he's using it in the correct way. The World Between Worlds is not a time travel device. It's not a way to bring back characters from the dead. That is not how it is. In Rebels, Ezra goes in there seeking answers on how to defeat or how to protect Lothal. What he learns is the answers. He saves Ahsoka. That's a whole nother thing. But he sees Kanan Jarrus, his master, and he realizes that he can't save him, but he sees what Kanan did, his sacrifice play to save all of his friends. And that's what he learns that he has to do. And that's why he doesn't tell anybody else the plan, because he knows that they would say no if he told it to them. So Ezra goes off and does his own thing. He calls in the Purrgil, and he takes Thrawn away, sacrificing himself and saving his home world, and saving all the other rebels while he's at it. Learning from his master, learning from the World Between Worlds, and getting the answers there. Ahsoka, when she goes into the World Between Worlds in the Ahsoka show, she's going to die. Her choice is to live or to die, and she comes out as Ahsoka the White. Her training is finished, and she's no longer worried about training Sabine because she's going to end up like Anakin was. She's no longer worried about any of that stuff. She's a completely different character by the time she comes out of the World Between Worlds. She died. She died. In a way. So, yes, I love the World Between Worlds. It's awesome. It's a very, very, very cool aspect of the Star Wars galaxy. It connects to the Mortis gods. It connects to the living force itself. It's the conduit between the living and the dead. It is fascinating. It is very, very cool. So, yes, I love the World Between Worlds, and it is not a time travel device. Soul says, maybe not Peridea specifically, but it's literally an entire whole galaxy with dozens of planets, moons, and whatnot. True, but it's supposed to be very difficult to get to that other galaxy. That's the idea. Yeah. Fearless says, could it be possible that Emery could do something to Omega with her DNA/genetics, which makes her blood then useless to Hemlock? No, I don't think so. And I don't think if she could, she would. But, yeah. James says, it's safe to say Palpatine's plan doesn't end up working as he dies in Return of the Jedi and is a clone in The Rise of Skywalker. Yeah, his plan is still sort of in development when he dies. That's why it didn't work. That's why there's Thrawn in The Heir to the Empire. That's why there's Snoke in the First Order, because his plan was still in development. Yeah. Soul says, that's why Shin, Sabine, Ahsoka, Grogu, and Ezra, etc. aren't in the prequels. Or the originals? Or sequels is what you mean, I think. Yes and no. I think a lot of them could die before the sequels. There's still like 20 plus years before the sequel trilogy in the time period that we're at with The Mandalorian. Star Wars Squawkbox says, I love your content. I appreciate that, Star Wars Squawkbox. I appreciate it. All right, I think I'm going to get on out of here. We've been going for almost 2 hours and 15 minutes. Absolutely insane. I think we got a lot done today. Even though we didn't. I dig your passion, Mike. Thanks, Nick. I appreciate that. We didn't really come up with what the hell Rampart's going to do, how he's going to help, but we did get through a lot of stuff today and really speculated about what's to come. And I'm excited. I'm really, really excited for these next 3 episodes. I'm beyond excited. So I can't wait, and I'm sure you guys can't either. Smash a freaking like on the stream if you have not yet. hit subscribe and hit that bell so you get notified every time I post a video. Let's celebrate yet again. Huge thank you guys for 45,000 subscribers. And may the force be with you always. Oh yeah, what a great stream. What a great show. You guys are the absolute best. I appreciate every single one of you more than you will ever know. And huge shout out to the 45,000 of you that hit subscribe. I really, really do appreciate it quite a bit. Watch out for a video tomorrow all about who's going to die in the Bad Batch Season 3. Watch out for that video tomorrow. Watch out for a short tonight that comes out at 5 p.m. as every night. There's a short that comes out at 5 p.m. And yeah, watch out for the stream on Saturday, of course, and every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday for the rest of your lives. I hope you have a great rest of your evening, a great rest of your lives. And good night, everybody.